Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, how are you today? I hope you are in good condition. Okay, let me introduce ourselves. My name is Ikha Lestari Ningrum and my partner is Kiki Amelia. So today we are going to discuss about sentence. What is a sentence? Sentence is a group of words which make complete sense. A sentence is grammatically complete idea. Sentence must have a subject and verb. For example, she runs. She in here is subject and runs in here is verb. And then, are you hungry? Are in here is verb and you in here is subject. Next, types of sentence. Based on function, we have 4 types of sentence. The first one is declarative sentence, imperative sentence, interrogative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. Declarative or assertive sentence, a statement that tells us about something, tell information about anything. It ends with a full stop. For example, my name is Ikha. And then imperative sentence. Imperative sentence tells someone to do something. It can be a command or request. For example, go to school now. Go to school now. Don't do that. And then interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence asks question. It ends with a question mark. For example, where do you live? Are you okay? How are you? And then exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence is a sentence that express strong feeling by making an exclamation. For example, oh my god.
In the next discussion, we will discuss about the structure of kind of sentence. In the first structure is simple sentence. The definition is a simple sentence contains a subject and a verb, and it may also have an object and modifiers. However, it contains only one independent clause. For the example, for the yellow color, it is subject, and for the green color, it is a verb, and for blue color, it's object, and the pink color is prepositional phrase. The example is she wrote. She completed her literature review. He organized his search by team and they studied APA rules for many hours. For the second structure is compound sentence. A compound sentence contains at least 2 independent clauses. These 2 independent clauses can be combined with a comma and a coordinating conjunction, or with a semicolon. For the example, the key is the independent clause is a color yellow color, and green is a conjunction, and the comma or semicolon is pink color. For the example, number 1 is she completed her literature review and she created her reference list. The first independent clause is she completed her literature review, and the semicolon is comma, and the conjunction and it is include conjunction fun boys and the second example is for the second independent clause is she created her reference list. The other example is on the below. The third structure is complex sentence. A complex sentence contains at least one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Dependent clause can refer to the subject who or which and the seconds or time, for the example since or while, or the casual elements because or if of the independent clause. If a sentence begins with dependent clause, note the comma after this clause. If on the other hand, the sentence begins with independent clause, there is not a comma separating the clause. For the example, the dependent clause is although she completed her literature review, comma, for the separating two clause, and the independent clause is she still needed to work on her method section. There is not a comma in the sentence because it began with a dependent clause. For the example, not any comma is this. For the independent clause is they studied APA rules for many hours, and it is dependent clause. The dependent clause is as they were so interesting. That there is no comma in the sentence because it begins with independent clause. For the last structure is compound complex sentence. Sentence types can also be combined. A compound complex sentence contains at least two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. For the example is the independent clause, she completed her review, and there is conjunction but, and there is independent clause 2, she still needs to work on her method section, and the dependent clause is even though she finished her method course last semester. There is contained two independent clause and one dependent clause. This is an example of compound complex sentence. It is combined, compound and complex. And the two example is although he organized his research by theme, it is dependent clause and there is comma. And the dependent clause is he decides to arrange them chronologically, and there is comma, and there is conjunction and the two independent clause is he carefully followed the meal plan for organization. There is two contain two independent clause. This is from us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.